The People Podcast of the DMV. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we, and God we trust. Sir Rod and Lady Z, PTP. Positive thinking people, PTP. Positive thinking people, PTP. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night,
every Monday,
every Wednesday night,
every Wednesday,
every Friday night,
Friday,
every Monday night,
Monday,
every Wednesday night,
every Wednesday,
every Friday night,
Friday day
every
night,
Monday night,
Monday,
every Wednesday night. Good evening. Welcome. This is People to People with Rodney Rhymes. Y'all already know how we do. I come to you. I'm always excited about what I'm doing. I'm just excited because I got the man in the house with me today. I will be bringing him up shortly. Just let me get myself situated. As we know, we always thankful for the opportunity to do what we do and just say, here we are coming back to you to bring some powerful information, talk about all the things that we be doing in the community, all the things that we trying to get you to think about, change your way of thinking. It's just powerful conversation coming through People to People, the People Podcast of the DMV. So I just want to just say to everybody, I send peace and blessings to you and just ask you to continue to show support to the program, helping us move forward and, allowing us to do what we do to make things better for all of us. As I always say, it's not about me, it's not about you, but it's about us. And God we trust. So, with that said, I'm going to now introduce my guest today. If I can go to my number 2 screen, how about that? My guest today, Mr. Eric Wilhoit, is in the house again.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
My man. Peace and blessings to you, man.
Peace and blessings to you too, brother. How are you?
Man, all the time, man. I'm so excited, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yo, first of all, this ain't no platform where we be real formal. You already know how we do.
Yeah.
We talk real talk.
Absolutely.
We was at the shop not long ago, Hands and Motions 2 in Old Town Alexandria, when you and the Queen Gwen was in there putting your hands in motion, doing what y'all do, having some powerful conversations.
Absolutely.
And we decided that the conversation, when we was talking about having you back, we said, well, what's going to be the title? And just because you always seem to speak politically correct, you speak truth, you speak fact, you don't speak fiction. So that's why I was like, politically correct would be a good title for today. So welcome, Eric, bro. I really appreciate you, man.
The honor and pleasure is mine, brother. Actually, it was an excellent topic. It most definitely is an excellent topic. For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Eric Wilhoit. I'm a native of the city of Alexandria, born and raised there. Been an activist in the community, and we also own our own beauty and barber salon, and we just been giving back to the people as much as we possibly can. And we want to continue to do that. We want to continue to grow and continue to strive and give back to our community and our youth as well.
And that's part of the reason why we definitely asked you to come in and to talk with us, and to be able to really share some information. What I like is the conversation that we have. I put on there as man to man. So a lot of times when we talking about things that just common sense and facts. We don't try to just make anything up. Now I want to be serious, but I want to get your opinion on something, because something was really bothering me, and I know this is going to be a little off scale, but so just recently, Chris Rock, you know about the smack and everything, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay. And Chris Rock, he did his little stand-up thing, right? And he talked about it. And some people got offended. I saved this just because I wanted to get your input on just with her. How did you perceive that whole situation?
Well, first you're gonna have to bring me up to speed on it because I really didn't follow it. I really don't follow it. Me personally, I thought it was a little bit staged, the actual slap itself. But I don't know. I don't spend a lot of energy on that, man. I don't mean no harm. I just really don't. I don't even know what this stand-up comedy was talking about. I really don't. So
Yeah.
if you bring me up to speed, I probably can give you a little, collab on it. But just coming off the top of my head, I really haven't even followed.
Well, the reason why it stayed in, because anything that represents us as an individual in this country, that was two males who happen to look like we do, and they had this altercation that was publicized. So of course I pay attention to everything because I'm in the media, I'm on social media, I pay attention to everything. And I know when I thought about that, I was writing some notes which I have in my bag the other day, and I was like, I said I was gonna just kind of see what your outlook was on it, as basically not so much the whole situation, but just our image. We in this country, we kind of put this image out that doesn't go over very well, and sometimes little situations like that will tarnish us. So that was one reason why I wanted to ask you about that. Well, how about I go here with this?
That's a good one. I go ahead.
Okay. No, what I want you to do is talk about our image, our image overall.
Well, anyone who project an image has to protect it. I don't really think it's really about us trying to project an image to anyone because they already downplay us as a people anyway. So no matter really what we do, they're gonna always find negative. The power structure is gonna always find negative in whatever we do. So if you do positive, they probably won't shed light on it, but as soon as something negative happened, then they're gonna say this is what we was talking about. So I don't think we should really be concerned about what other people think, especially when we in the process of trying to grow or develop something. I think that'll hinder us because what we look for, I think we've been lied to for a long time, and I use the fifth principle of nature, which is polarity, and I use this so often because we've been painted this lie about this perfect place. Like without balance, there's no perfection. So when you have a lot of good, you're going to also have bad. And we sometimes forget, like maybe our religious belief or how we was brought up, we think this place, everything is supposed to be perfect. But that's just not how nature operates. If you got negative, you're going to have positive. If you got positive, you're going to have some negative. So, we should take what's negative and try to build and grow from it and just let it be a learning experience. You know what I mean? And a lot of time it doesn't, some of the things, that the mainstream don't promote about us, it goes against their narrative. So they're not going to put that out there. And about Chris Rock and Will Smith, like I don't have anything against them brothers, but last I checked, if I look at their resume and what they doing for us in the community, I don't really see a whole lot going on with them.
Yeah, well,
and I don't mean, and let me just, because these guys are in a good position to really give back to where they come from, and I'm not just talking about where you so-called write a check and say, oh, I'm giving back, or I come out and give turkeys doing Thanksgiving, because that's really not giving anybody no foundation. Just like the Bible said, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So just because you come out once a year and you give a turkey, or you give a book bag drive, or you might give toys for Christmas, that ain't nothing that's going to sustain us as a people. When an individual is trying to build maybe an institution, for instance, Dr. Umar Johnson, he was trying to build a school. Took him like 7 or 8 years just to get $2 million, and if that was any other nationality, he'd have had that in 6 months. So sometimes these brothers that we so-called look up to is really not giving us a whole lot back to our communities, and we need grassroots, because we need people that has that type of influence promoting people like yourself, such as yourself.
Right, and that's why I pay attention. So believe it or not, that was part of the reason why I thought about that, because of what you said. See, I kind of not surprised you said what you said. I'm not surprised that you didn't pay attention to them. But what I did know that I would get a trigger from you when I speak in reference to us as individuals. some of the things that we conversated about last time is talking about not passing the blame for everybody for doing for ourselves, looking out for ourselves and doing things on our own. So I get that. When I brought out those two guys, because they was in the eyes of all these people, and Will smacked Chris, that was almost like what we do on the street. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's not make it Will and Chris. Let's make it Rodney and James, or Rodney and Larry, okay? And these are the everyday guys. What do we do? How do we build from that? We don't. What we do is we break down. Now, what you said is when we're in situations and people are bringing back to the community and building foundations where we have programs and different things to talk about violence and talk about education and talk about rehabilitation and moving forward, it makes a big difference.
Right.
Like the People to People podcast and some of the other things that we be doing.
Well, I'm gonna speak on this really quick because a lot of things, like sometimes I don't like it. I like some of our conversations to be private,
Right.
because some things we have to go behind closed doors and clean up ourselves
Right.
without exposing it to the world. Although, some of these issues have been put out on the forefront anyway. I don't think we just so happen to have to do it, but we just don't have good conflict resolution because we haven't been brought up with good conflict resolutions. For instance, when you was brought up, I was brought up, and something happened in our community, our mother told us to go back out and fight. You better go back, get your, or our father, whoever was there, you better go back outside and fight. Don't you come back in here crying like that again, because you're going to get two butt whooping.
Yeah.
You understand? So in our mind, our mentality, we kids, so we thinking that's the way we deal with conflict resolution. We don't ever think about coming sitting down at the round table figuring out how could we best handle these situations. Because the first thing we think about, our parents told us we had to go out here and defend ourselves. Even though that is the first law of nature, self-preservation. I get it. But, sometimes we shouldn't allow just words to move us. But, we've been taught respect was something high that we needed to hold on to. So we just jump into a lot of things just based off our emotion. Which is understood.
When you think about that, and sometimes it's from the perspective of individuals that they see it. Okay, so I remember, I'm not going to quote the guys, but I had a paper out and they was trying to take my money. And I came running back home and I left one of my tennis shoes because I wasn't going to let them take my money. So I took off running. They have to be two friends of mine, but anyway, that's how back in the day when we was real young. And so when I came there, my mama said, where you have a tennis shoe? And I said, mine, it's down there. They was trying to take my paper route money. And she said, well, I tell you what you better do. You better go back and get that tennis shoe. So basically I said, you better go back out there, because I came and I was huffing and puffing. So I put the bag down and everything, and I went back down there. And when I went back, both of the guys were still there. And when they saw me coming back, they was like, oh shoot, he coming back, And they saw me running back because in my mind, I didn't want that whooping for leaving that shoe. Now, but the overall thing that I got out of that later on in my life was my mom made me go back and have to deal with the situation. See, it wasn't so much for her to say go back there and fight him. I had to deal with the situation, don't run from it. So a lot of times when I think back then, the parents say, you better go back out there, meaning you got to go deal with that. Because if not, you're going to have to deal with it tomorrow in school, or you're going to have to deal with it when you're going to the store, or whatever the case may be. But here we are in this day and time, it's a totally different.
No.
It's a different arena.
We on some other stuff.
Yeah. But, one of the things that I'm just looking at, just several things that we had discussed privately when I was just talking about the way that's going on, we functioning in the DMV. I brought that crab in a pot thing back up. I've really been pushing that. I'm really trying to support other businesses and figure out how I'm going to go about it. It was just so funny that one of the owners who I rent from sat in here today with me, and he was asking me, how are you making money? He asked me, what is this is his first time sitting down with me. He was like, I've been here going on, July will be 2 years. So he sat in with me just a little before you came, and he was asking me, how are you surviving? What is your directions and this and that? Well, one of the things that I realized that for me, and what is my agenda, is to have individuals like you to come on and we talk about solutions. We talk about things that we're dealing with on a regular basis, like the conversation when we was in your barbershop, in the salon. You just kind of triggered the brother to start talking, man, and it got deep up in there, But, those conversations makes us become aware of some of the things that we have to deal with. And one of the issues in that conversation that I want to bring up was he wasn't too keen on about supporting other people. How you feel about that?
No, he has a whole different perspective. He come from Mississippi, so whatever his perspective is, I allow him to have his perspective. We can't allow one person with a different perspective to stop what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
If I start those conversations intentionally.
Yeah.
So that we can grow, because it's a lot of people that come through there. And we all just need to learn a little bit something, from everybody's perspective. It just can't be about my perspective and like you said, this is about people to people.
Yeah.
When we make that a safe haven for everybody. It's just not about. It's not when we having shop talk. It's not my space. It's not your space. It's our space. It's the same way.
Right.
As you approach the situation, it's about everybody bringing their input, and then we can come to the round table and figure out what's best for us or how we plan on moving. You understand? That individual, he has his own perspective. Like I said, he see things the way he see it. He has great points. He has great values. He understands what's going on in the system all the way around. Just trust me when I tell you that. So that's just how he feel, because he feel like a lot of the stuff that we do or we talk about or we want to do is kind of a waste of time. He has a plan. He has an objective. He's just sticking to it. So, people like him, I just get information from him and keep it moving, man.
Yeah.
I no harm meant, no hard feelings, none of that. We just learn from each other and we keep it moving, man. And that's just it. That's it. He can't stop our mission. He can't stop our flow of what we trying to do. That's just his perspective. He's just one person.
Me, I'm honestly, again, kudos to Hands of Motion 2 that's located out in Delray in Old Town Alexandria. Some of the conversations we always had whenever I was in the presence in there, there's always been something positive or something to move us in the direction of thinking and trying to become better individuals. I'm not going to put, she is in the studio, I ain't going to say nothing, but your business partner did something that I thought was real powerful when I spoke about how she put that promotion piece together for the young guys with the clothing on. I thought about that. I thought about what do we do? How do we really? What is the direction? We continue to move to make this movement where you were the one took and put in my mind the change of the direction of how the image of the crab in a pot. And I thought about that. That's what she put together that day. She put together the crab in a pot. She put all of them in the same pot. Yeah. But it was a powerful outcome.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was very unique.
It was about networking. Once again,
okay.
And that was the key.
Yeah.
You see,
right.
Like I said, individually, we gonna be weak, man. It's like a chain. If you got one link to the chain, man, it ain't. And you got 50 links laying around, they weak. When you get them, when you only as strong as your weakest link, and as long as we start separating, we can't get nothing accomplished, man. We ain't gonna get nowhere. We already in trouble. Like, we really in some serious trouble if we don't figure out a plan how we in the next few years. And it may not be to us, but our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. Hey, man, like just all of this. And I don't have nothing against technology. I don't have nothing against school, but we got to get back to hands-on skills. We have to. Because just think about in the future how it's going to look with AI. Just think about that. You go into the Walmarts right now and you see self-service. You don't need that AI is taking a job from somebody that could be working in our community who needs it. Somebody that look like you and I, a black person that look like you and I might need that job, but they giving it to AI. And if we don't catch it real fast and don't get hands-on skills, things that computers can't do, man, we're gonna be in trouble. And we promoting now. Everybody is promoting college. And where the jobs gonna come from?
Right.
Who gonna give them to you? If everywhere you go they got a computer that can do what you do, who you think gonna get the worst end of that stick?
Yeah.
You and I, people that look like me and you, every day, all day. I don't care what's happening. We gonna always get the short end of the stick if we don't change. We don't change our mentality, the way we think. We don't start building things. We don't start creating things. We don't start promoting one another. We don't start supporting one another. Who else gonna do it? We the only group of people that look for our adversary, and we join in with them to try to help bring us out of the conditions that we in. I'm not saying they not partially responsible for it, but hey, we already understand that history is what it is. We learn from it, now we need to grow and build from it. We know what that history is, but we most definitely can't look for our oppressors to bring us out of them. Listen, I don't think if I was in a position I would do it either. You understand? We gotta come out of this ourselves. We gotta figure it out. Hey man, we one of the greatest people that ever touched this space that we in. Hey man, we creative. We got the most creative minds. When you go back to Africa, man, every group of people came. You got the shortest people there. You have the tallest people. You have the fastest people. You have the skinniest people. You have the biggest people. Every group of people come from that place, man. And that's where we come from, man. And we are some powerful people. We just got to get back to it, man. We got to stop relying on others to do for us what we can do for ourselves. I cannot promote that enough.
Yeah.
You know, and we talking about politically correct, and even though, you know, most people when you say politically correct, they think we just talking about politics. But you do have people that's into politics, you know, that looks for the government for some support. I look at things a little bit different, but I understand it. I'm not a political person, but I do understand it. We don't even operate that wrong. We the only group of people that give our votes away for free. We the only group of people that do it. We don't never go with no agenda. We don't raise money. We don't give to their campaigns. We just go to the polls and we vote Democrat. And man, we don't get off this Democrat plantation, we are absolutely in trouble. The Democrat Party has not done nothing for the black man since it's been a party. It wasn't built for us. As a matter of fact, the first of us, we were Republicans. And people think that means, like, I'm not telling you to get with a party, but when you take the suffix off of the word Republican, then you get Republic. And that's what this space was, that's what this country was founded on the Republic. You can't look into the Constitution and you're not going to find one single word to say democracy. The word doesn't even exist in the Constitution. It's a made up word that they promoted. The Democrat Party promote democracy. This country was not founded on no democracy. It was founded on a republic. It was the Constitution of the Republic, which means that you learn to be self-sufficient. We were a self-sufficient people. Right after slavery, who had all the jobs? We did. Who was doing all the work? The Europeans didn't know the work. How come they didn't know it? Because we was doing it all. Every hands-on job, we did it. Then they brought sharecropping into the play, where they was taking the land. We was tilling the land. They was so-called renting it out to us or selling it to us, finding a way to sneak the deed, steal the deed from us, take the land back. But we was doing all the work, man. We was independent people until the 60s, and we got involved with this integration stuff. We was doing for ourselves. We was better off. The only thing was we started to integrate, and we started letting other groups of people and other nationalities set our standards. Everything we had, we gave it away to go sit and eat with people who hated us. Yeah, spitting our food, told us we had to come through the back door. We gave up everything we had. And when you think about it, everything we had, our baseball fields, our baseball teams, our football teams, our basketball teams, all the paraphernalia that we had, we gave all that up, all our restaurants. Dr. Claude Anderson, I can't remember where he's from. I study under this brother. They had a cab company, they had restaurants, they had all that stuff, man, going for themselves. As soon as the integration came, we stopped supporting each other and go support a group of people that never cared about it from day one. And we got to get off that. We got to get off that, man. We got to get off that Democratic plantation, man. Or we in trouble. These people, I was seeing not Jesse Jackson. Al Sharpton and Biden and all these guys, they walking around linking hands talking about the right to vote, that kumbaya stuff like that. Them days are long over, man. We not back in this. Listen, that was a great time, but we ain't back in them time, man. We can fight for whatever we want. And I mean, any kind of fight we want to fight, we can do it right now. But we just got to stop being fearful, trust the power that's behind us, and stick together as a unit, man, collectively. And that don't mean we all come from the same background. You still can be Muslim, you might be Christian, you might be Jew. But one thing that we all got in common is our blackness. And we gotta vibe off of that, man. We gotta move off of that. We got to build off of that. Because ain't nobody else going to do it for us, man. We keep on sitting back waiting for people. We're going to be in a world of hurt. I'm trying to tell you.
One of the things that I realized that we have a tendency, again, to expect people to say, okay, y'all suffered for here and there, but everybody, all different nationalities suffered in one way or the other, at different levels. And what do we do with that now? We have to make the changes. We have to move forward and try to make things different. We've got to get to a point where we start to say, okay, I'm going to see you succeed. One of the things that I tell other people out there, I said, your success is mine, especially when you look like me. I don't care. I'm not saying that, that the Italian restaurant is not good, because I like Italian food. But I'm going to tell you what really bothered me the other day. I left and I went to get my wife some beef and chicken. Chicken and broccoli. And the Asian guy snatched the money out of my hand. He snatched the money out of my hand. But see, he got that big plastic and all that. He separates us because he feeling that security behind that. And in the neighborhood where I live. And I didn't even tell my wife, because I literally wanted to tell him, say, give me my money back. I'm not gonna patronize you. But I went on and I even paid extra to get extra chicken in it because to please my wife. But the thing that really bothered me was I stood there, I felt so like humiliated. Now, should I be mad at him? Should I? Or should I try to produce my own situation so I don't have to be treated that way?
My first question was why we even supporting them?
Yeah.
I mean, the honest goodness truth, we support them and take their money back,
right,
and build institutions for their children, for the future of their children.
Yeah.
They've never given anything back to the black community, not never, since they've been in our community. See, listen, how many Chinese restaurants do you see set up in a predominant in Chinatown? Well, not Chinatown, in Old Town.
Not a lot.
You don't see none. They ain't not having it. They don't even fund them people for that. They won't get, the banks will not fund them. Mount Vernon Avenue, you barely got one now. They used to have Chinese store up on Route 1 where we are, right on the corner right there.
Yeah.
Now that
was there a long time.
Now that it looks different, that Chinese store gone. Look at the Chinese store that used to be in the Burb. All the Chinese stores where we was predominantly at, they gone. Because it don't look like us no more. Because they not going to support that. They are absolutely, listen, they have an unwritten code. They ain't going to get no picket signs. It's just not going to come in your business. They set up shop right there, see how much people support. Most people, if the Chinese restaurant there, 95% of the people that support them look like us. We don't have, if anybody we have to be mad at, it have to be ourselves. We have to stop supporting them. And I don't have nothing against them. Hey, listen, do your thing. But I'm saying, we as a people, we got to stop supporting people that ain't giving nothing back to us. They absolutely give nothing back to us. You understand? Nothing. What do they do for us? When have they ever done anything for us? I remember when I was a little boy living in the Burb, man. They was on the corner right there of Princess and Royal Street. Royal Street right there, man. They was there for years. They ain't never, you couldn't go over there and ask them for a dime for a fundraiser that you was doing. If your children was selling some type of candy or something, they wouldn't even buy it.
Yeah.
Man, they ain't gonna give you they ain't give us a dime. They been blood sucking off of us for years, man. We gotta tell the truth. And we ain't got nothing against these people, but we gotta tell the truth. Sometimes the truth burn me and you, but we got to stand on it.
So, but what I'm trying to figure out, so if we looking at this happen, why we don't open up our own restaurants?
Hey, listen. The truth of the matter, are we gonna support each other? You remember Jerry a long time ago? They had that restaurant in Old Town. Then they moved him out. He ended up on Mount Vernon Avenue. He was right near that building where you was at upstairs. Remember you was in that little house?
Oh yeah.
He was upstairs. They ran him out of Old Town.
Yeah.
They ran him out of Old Town. He had a good restaurant. He was thriving. People said, "Man, you got to get out of here." A year and a half, the business shut down. That's how they operate, man. We the only group of people that think that we got to bond with somebody else to be successful, and that don't mean we can't do business with them. But man, we got to really start building our own stuff. Or we gonna listen. I'm gonna keep saying it till I'm black and blue in the face, man. We get in trouble if we don't change.
Well, I already know. I mean, I'm looking at here, even the process of me trying to be one of the voices of the DMV. You know, it is what it is. I try to get people to understand, yo, this is an opportunity for us to speak truth, to come to the table and to say, yo, we got to make changes. You know.
Let me speak to something else that you said. You said, a lot of nationalities suffer. That's true. But the black man in America have a unique situation. Nobody been through what we've been through in this country. That's our uniqueness. We built this country. We literally built it. Sweat, tears, and blood. We built this country. We have a unique. Nobody has a right to claim that. You watch all these laws and all these so-called amendments and all these things they put together, and I don't know if amendments was the right word. Maritime Manumission, stuff like that. 1710 Act, Maritime Manumission. You watch these acts that was put together. They never benefit us. They never is solely when Daniel Moynihan came up with benign neglect, what he said, yes, black folk have issues, but we gonna ignore them. So soon as we go for anything that's dealing with us, with any of the amendments, now I'm saying it correctly, any of the amendments that was pertaining to us, when they wrote the 13th, 14th, 15th amendment, that was solely and strictly for descendants of the slaves. And what happened? What happened to that? They came and gave it to everybody else that looked like other people. They started calling minority. What is a minority? What does that mean? A minority. Now anybody can be a minority. Me and you can have a big toe that's bigger than everybody else, and we'll be the minority. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, man. Anything become a minority, that means they're gonna find a way to take it from us. They're gonna find a way and give it to somebody else. Why you think all these immigrants come over into this country and they get these loans and all these grants and all this stuff to open up businesses right in the center of our community? Everybody come over here and benefit off of us, off the black man, the descendant of the slave, and we don't get nothing. We sit up and fight for this crap. It's crap, man.
But half the problem is that a lot of us won't come out and support one another, though.
Man, but it comes from political. When you start talking about political correct stuff, we got to understand how, like the churches, they have a bigger responsibility, man. The churches have the churches can change things overnight, I believe. I believe the churches can absolutely change things overnight. But they got to get back into the communities. They can't just keep saying, let's donate to the community, let's give our tithes and offering. And then what you building in the community, you got to bring something back. You got to open up stores. You got to create jobs. Instead of, I'm so disappointed in Maryland, I don't know what to do with myself across that bridge, brother, because that place is as far as blacks, is the richest county in the United States of America, and they own absolutely nothing but houses and cars. You look around, we cross that bridge, and you know it, you cross that bridge, the soul food ain't even coming from us no more. Urban wear not coming from us no more. The liquor stores not coming from us no more. The grocery stores not coming from us no more. The only thing we own over there is our houses and our cars and some of the churches.
And we really don't own them with the way that they taxing us.
Right. But I'm just saying, but we should be owning all of that stuff. People should be riding through that town supporting all black businesses in that town. When you stop to get gas, it shouldn't be the Ethiopians at the gas station running the gas station. It should be people looking like me and you, and they should be owning that stuff. We just got to pull together. We got to stop allowing people, man, to set our standard. And that's the biggest issue, setting our standards for it.
Well, I mean, I don't. Sometimes it's just mind-boggling because we have these conversations, and I look around and I be like, okay, here, like a person like myself. Again, I try not to cry the blues about things because many times they say don't cry about it. But when you constantly struggling, and then there's people like me who look like me that don't want to see me succeed, and then I find myself that. We talk about go eat with somebody who don't look like us because sometimes them the ones that say, yo, I'll give you a piece of bread. You know, sometimes you take what you can get.
Yeah, that's mandatory manumission. That's the 1710 Act. That's mandatory. That's how they operate. It's a system, man. This matrix we living in. Hey, man, they got you go. Every area is covered. Every area. It's not gonna be an easy task. Every area. You go to education, they got it covered. You go to the finances, they got it covered. You go to the institutions, they got that covered. Every area that you look, they got it covered. It's a hard task. But what do? You going to keep going to them? And I'm not saying nothing wrong with it. Hey, listen, we got to use each other. We got to use them for their purpose, right? Sometimes we got to use them. We got to use them to get what we got to get, but we still got to support each other. And when we start supporting each other, of course, listen, man, don't think people not gonna like what you're doing. People not gonna like what I'm doing. But it's people out here, genuine people, who want to support Rodney Grimes, who want to support Eric Wilhoit, who want to support Gwen Pratt Miller, who want to support business. We just got to target those people. You understand? They out here. We got to stop. And look, we the largest consumers in the world. We can't say we don't have the money anymore. That's a myth. Yeah. We just giving our money to everybody except people who look like us. And another thing that this system has got us, we don't look to our brothers abroad. They keep us separate. See, that's another issue we got to start trying to tackle, because that's when you're doing that importing or in exporting. When you get your brothers across there, where you can get, for instance, you got these brothers out here with these clothing lines. Who you buying your t-shirts from? Who you buying your hoodies from? You ain't buying it from people that look like you. No. Man, there's people over there right now in Ghana, places like that. They got dual citizenship. When you go over there and you have business idea, man, they'll support you if you got the finances and means. They'll support you. They'll help you build with you, so we can start importing some things over here, like t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants. That way we can get that low price. As long as we got to go to someone else, we got to take our prices so high that it's hard for a brother to come and support us. You understand? I ain't gonna say it's hard. They think it's hard. Let me say it that way, because they support everybody else with them high prices. They feel like it's hard, or your quality isn't good enough for them. You understand? We let other people set our standards, and we have to stop that as well. And listen, man, none of this is gonna be easy. We can sit here and talk till we black and blue in the face. This right here is gonna take a couple generations to correct, but we got to start now. Because if we don't, I'm telling you, 2 more generations, our youth gonna be in trouble. Because everything is going AI. In other countries, man, AI, they got them as citizens now. AI, artificial intelligence, man, got them walking around robots. What we gonna do? How we gonna eat then? And now they trying to make everything either you to have or you to have not. Yeah. Ain't gonna be no middle class.
Really,
man, they wiping the middle class right out the pocket, brother. I'm talking, when you talking about the pocket. And listen, and this not just gonna affect us, people that look like me and you, but the bad part about it, we're gonna get the worst end of the stick. Yeah. Like we always do. Yeah. So we gotta understand that we gotta be content with the things that we produce, like we used to. See, back in the day, I don't care what part of the country you went around, we all had the same issue, and we knew it. So we didn't have a choice but to support each other. You understand? Soon as they start mixing the marbles up, the red marble, the black marble, the green marble, we just stopped. Everything we own, we gave it up. We just gave it up. And we got to get back to that again. We're going to be, matter of fact, you know what? We're going to be forced to do it. That's how the creator operates. He going to force your hand. He going to force our hand, brother. We're going to get up. We're going to die. We're going to either get busy living or we're going to get busy dying. And the first law of nature is self-preservation. So we'll figure it out. But we better start promoting it right now, or we're going to be in some world of hurt. I keep on saying that. Yeah, man, sometimes I cry for my grandson and stuff, man. It's terrible what we're seeing going on right now, man. It's just a bad situation. And we got to learn ourselves too. We got to learn. We got to learn how the system operates. Most of us don't, man. We just don't know how the system operates. We don't. We just. Every time I think about it, man, I feel bad for, and not me and you, because we done lived most of our life. We on the down spiral now. Not to say it's bad, but we on that part where we trying to get relaxed, man. But man, every time I look at my grandson, man, and what he might produce after himself, oh man, it frightens me, scares me bad. Make me come back every morning, make me want to try a little bit harder. Sometimes I want to throw my hands up, I swear. Sometimes I want to put my hands up right and say, that's it. I'm going to keep this little bit of information to myself, but I can't do it because I've been groomed to give it away because it's been given to me. But sometimes I want to throw my hands up when I watch and see how dramatic this situation has become for us, where we have become as a people. It's hurtful. And I don't even really like discussing these things in public. I think these are private situations that we should discuss privately and try to figure out how we going to fix some of these issues. Just start off from little things. It's just a little thing, showing these kids that we love them and somebody genuinely cares about them. And if we don't start that, you know, when we was out there back in the day, man, we was hands on. They felt us. They ain't just hear our presence. They felt our presence.
Yeah.
We was on the corners back then, and when a child see that somebody loves them, somebody genuinely cares about them, it makes a difference. It just makes a world of difference, man. And we got to get back to the grassroots, man. So.
For everybody that just joined in, you just joining in, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. My guest is Mr. Eric Wilhoit. Eric is a native individual from Old Town Alexandria. I've known him all his life. He's a gentleman who works in the community on different levels. I've always enjoyed having conversation with him. And so, this is one of those opportunities that I'm really excited about. Excuse me. I didn't put the number out. If you wanted to call in, the number is 703-752-6120. The number is 703-752-6120 if you would like to call in and chime in on the conversation. Also, let me tell y'all, we moving forward. It was a question asked in here, and this was a prime example. When the gentleman was sitting here earlier, he was asking, how do we survive? He said, what are we doing? We're trying to do commercials. We're trying to keep this podcast floating. But this is all about me trying to give you an opportunity, and not just me, but we, because there's several people that help support this project, to help us be where we can have conversations like this as a man to man or woman to woman or whatever the case may be, so we can hear these things and be aware of the changes that need to be taken care of. I find that, in the community, it is important when, as men like ourselves, we talk about these things collectively, and we could be able to say, hey, this is where we are. We got to make the changes for the children. We got to be an example. And it's many times that I will look out, and it's hard for me to try to tell other people who I see surviving why we struggle. It's really hard and it's embarrassing. You said something, many times I want to throw my hands up, but I'm not that. Something else that you said, quitting ain't in your
vocabulary.
Ain't in your vocabulary. So, hey, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I was saying that in the mirror a couple days after y'all was here. We was talking. I say, quitting ain't in my vocabulary, and and that's what it is. I'm not a quitter, and I'm a true believer first in God. I believe in God first, but I also then believe that I walk in His footsteps, and anything that I can conceive, I can achieve. Now, during that process, it's a struggle as I move forward, because you can't really do it by yourself, because we need help from one another. Here we are, we trying to set a tone. I listened to you that day when that young brother was in there, and and we're not calling his name, but I realized he was a lawyer, and I was listening to the way he talking. Really, I was really proud, because I saw what you did. It was more like he didn't even know it when you said, oh, I'm gonna get him going, and then I thought that was really, really, I just really liked the trigger, because the conversation got real deep.
Yeah.
He didn't know you did. He may have figured it out later.
Yeah, he caught on.
Yeah, that you did that on purpose.
Absolutely, 100%.
But that's what we need to do. We need to have those conversations.
Yeah, we do. First of all, I can't let you commit blasphemy in there, man. Stop using that word believe. That's doubt. So you gotta know the Creator, man. You can't believe that stuff. I hate to tell people that. I know you deeply rooted, man, but you gotta remove that word believe. That's doubt. Believe means that you don't know. What's 1 plus 2?
2. Oh no, 1 plus 2.
Yeah.
3.
You sure? You believe that or you know it?
I know that.
Okay. Then you know there's a Creator. You know your God. You don't believe. No. Stop using that term believe.
But,
I gotta stop you, man. I got to. Listen,
you know
man,
what,
I love you, man, but stop using that term believe, because I know you know. You got
you know what though, Eric? That's part of the reason why I get a kick out of talking to you and having these conversations, because it's individuals like you to speak truth. So I like when you say these things. Like I told you, I took the crab in the pot thing. I ain't using it no more talking on the negative. I'm using it as positive. Let me tell you this: when you said that day, you said ain't no quitting it. That's not in your vocabulary.
Yeah.
So now I be looking at my wife, and on them days I'm feeling the struggle, I say ain't no quitting in my vocabulary. And so now I'm getting ready to steal this one from her. Hey, look, I don't even understand what believe is. I know for a fact.
There you
so
go.
I
That's
got
what
you.
I'm talking
Much respect.
It's just so much more powerful, brother.
Well, that's what we need, though. That's why we have the People to People podcast. Individuals like you, we have you to talk about things. We had a couple on Carlos and Patricia from Home. They're a relative company, and it's Metro Homes DMV, and they was here, and they put out some real powerful information as well. And what I've learned to do now is this: I just constantly move in a positive direction. I believe, I know, there you go. I know that through my journey that it's going to be a purpose to make the changes. What's been happening even within the last couple of weeks, not just from you, but some other individuals who I've had the opportunity to have conversation with, I'm getting all this stuff fed into me, man. And it's almost like people putting coins into my piggy bank, and I feel the piggy bank starting to get full, and after a while I'm gonna be able to cash it in.
And hey, look at here, just put some real pennies in the real piggy bank too. We gotta support this thing here.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, look, I'm a what's that challenge? How they be doing the challenges? They do all the little bucket challenges. I'm gonna challenge the brothers out here because I know you had a lot of brothers. I'm gonna start the first donation today before I leave out here. I'm gonna challenge everybody to at least match it.
Okay. Hey, and let me put I'm gonna put my cash app out there as the $RG1960. Let me tell y'all something. Like I said, the gentleman who was sitting here earlier, he was asking me, he said, how are you surviving? I said, well, first of all, I do this because I have a passion for it. And now you done got me where I don't want to use the word believe. I know that this is a process for me. This is something that I know that I must do. I have to do. And I have confidence in it because what I contribute back is going to help somebody. It may not, right now, I might not be reaching millions of people, but I'm in a platform that can. And it could be that one day that all of a sudden just 1 million people decide, hey, you know what? Who is this guy that keep coming on here talking about people to people, power to power, positive thinking people? And it just pops. But you know what? I appreciate the conversation from you. I appreciate the support. I like what you stand for. You're not the only other brother that's like that. We got many young men like yourself that I grew up with that encourage me. I'm trying to think of who that was that I mentioned your name, and he started laughing and he said, Eric's serious about everything. I'm trying to think of who it was because we was talking and I told him that, I was going to have you back in, and I said, man, I love when I have these conversations with you.
I have a fun side, man. I do. It's just, when we on these matters and this subject, it's not a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time left to be playing. Not with this. We can play around with other stuff, but this ain't one of these subjects here. And this subject matter here, man. We don't have a lot of room for playing, man. We don't. You and I, man, we getting older, man. We got to set up. We got to make it for our progeny. The next generation that come behind us got to be ready to be hands on. If we don't give it to them right, then they don't have a teaching. Then how can they be taught? So we got it. This thing right here has been serious for a long time. It ain't a game, I just never took this part just being for fun. This has always been real because it's a passion. Because I remember living that life when I was coming up, and I was groomed for this moment, this space and time where we are, and for the struggle. See, when you know what's backing you, man, it's hard to break. It's hard to. A lot of people tell me, man, I don't ever see that because it's just hard to break, man. Because I understand and know that energy that's behind me. It's just always sparking. It's just always going, and that's what that energy does. What some people call it God, Allah, the Creator, Buddha, monk, Jesus, whatever you call it. That greater force, man, it's real. You just gotta understand it, and you can't doubt it. And when you use terms like belief, that's a doubt, because the word belief is not knowing. Those are not synonymous. That means I'm really not sure I believe this. No, we know the power, and it's a power that's greater than you and I. And these forces, man, move things, it builds things, it creates things.
I'm gonna tell you what I do know. I do know that the Creator is working on me. You know why? Because some of the things that have been shared with me within the last 72 hours. But I'm not just talking about the last 72 hours. I'm talking about just in my journey over the last couple of years. Everything that's coming to me is like, again, it's feeding me. It's feeding me, and it's feeding me like good information to make me become a different individual. I'm looking at that, and I know through my process of who I am. I wrote something today that I am now moving forward, and I don't really be concerned whether somebody is with me or not with me. I know who I am, and I know what I stand for, and I continue to do that unconditionally. That's one of the things that drives me, and I look at the young brothers, man, and I be sometimes want to just break down crying, because I say, you have no idea, what you in store for if we don't change.
Yeah.
But we need to get together and make differences in our communities. And I'm not talking about just for different ethnic backgrounds. I'm talking about the people in general. We have to keep moving forward. Because, see, one thing that a lot of people don't pay attention, if you never left out of this country, if you never left here and you just been in the United States, you don't know what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how they look at us over across the water. I'm talking walking where they be looking at you. In some countries, as soon as they find out that you're American, man, they look at you like a dollar bill. You do not look like a piece of chicken. You look like a piece of steak. And they look at you and they think that you got it all together.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we come back here, man, it's totally different.
It's incredible, isn't it, man?
It just blows me.
It's incredible.
And one of the things the other thing that really bothers me is many of us who look like us, who are not, we're not using this platform to really take advantage of it to the level where we can actually say, look, we built this and we supposed to have our just due as we move forward.
It's infighting because we used to taking on that mentality of crabs in the bucket. Because soon as we think somebody is achieving or obtaining something, it seems like the envy and jealousy starts to sit in. And see, that's why I flipped that as far as the crabs in the bucket. We got to stop, man. We got to congratulate each other. When a person is doing something, there's enough out here for all of us. We got to understand that. You understand? We just got to start just supporting each other. When something like one of the things Ms. Gwen did when she pushed that out for everybody. There's people that you wouldn't believe, some of the people that hated that. Right? It's people that hated it, but you're gonna have that. You can't let that stop you from doing what you know is right and what's best because somebody else don't like it. Everybody has a right for their expression, so let their expression be their expression. It's just not a part of what you're trying to do, and we have to accept that. Let's not get hung up on that. That's why you have to reach the people that's willing to support you. And we have to challenge these brothers who come and sit in these chairs, such as myself. I'm not even leaving myself out. I'm one of them. We have to support you. If we want to keep this platform going, how can it keep going if we don't? We up here talking group economics, but we ain't backing it up with no type of structure. Then we become hypocrites. And it's not about hypocrisy. We got to do it. It's the only way we can make things work for ourselves. Stop just doing verbally. Dig in your pockets. You got it. It ain't got to be a whole lot. Man, you got 10,000 people giving $1. That's $10,000. Yeah. That ain't a whole lot. And our brothers, please stop worrying about what these brothers doing with every single dime. I want to look into the camera. They have family. They have lives. This stuff takes energy. It's time, effort, planning. We out here now. And it's almost 8 o'clock. You know, we work. We do all this stuff, man. You listen. Stop trying to count every dime that's donated to each black man. You have to stop doing it. You gotta stop doing it, man. Let these people live. Let these brothers live, man. This is a great work. This is great work that this brother's doing. So we gotta support him. And then if when he gone, we go, oh, what happened to Rodney? You ain't support him. Look in the mirror and look at yourself and challenge you. Yeah. You ain't supporting it. Like, yo, Rodney's business failed. Yeah, because you went down there. Then you go to the Chinese restaurant and get you some chicken.
But I mean, you keep it real. You know, and then they snatching the money out.
Yeah, they gone.
Yeah, and when they leave, they
gone.
nowhere in your neighborhood.
They gone. They took that change, send their kids to college.
Yeah.
Opened up a school or something, another restaurant. But they gone. They ain't give you I'm talking about a dime, man. We used to go, listen, we used to run them functions, man. We used to go to them places, man. Talking about, let's give us a little donation for our, man. The people look at us like we ain't never shopped in their store.
Yeah.
What you mean? I ain't supporting no more Chinese people. Listen, man. I don't mean no harm, man. But listen, man, you got a cage and stuff up, man. I hate going to beauty for. Listen, I tell them, I hate going to beauty for you. I hate doing it, man. Listen, I spend good money. I was getting some gel out of there one time. You know, you got to bend down there at the gel now. Man, this man was up on his tippy toes, looking over, trying to see what I was doing. Man, you know, stuff like that, man, it just make me not even want to support it. For what? Look what they think of us. First of all, if you want me to give you my hard-earned money, and you got a cage built up for me to support you, man, I wish I would. Listen, I don't believe I'm ever gonna kill myself. I kill myself for it. I'm not gonna do it, man. I'd rather give my money to my brothers, man. That's why I try to support my brothers any kind of way I can. Time, energy, and money. Period. That's how we gotta do it. Everybody else's money goes, the Jew money goes through his neighborhood 18 times. Chinese man 16 times. Ethiopians 11 times. We the only group of people that our money go through our hand one time and it's gone. We the only group. The only group. Man, come on, man. We gotta stop it. And we talking about all these, we conscious now. All this conscious, we conscious community. Are we really? Seriously? Like, stop. I tell brothers, stop playing, man. Stop. That sound good, look good, all that stuff, man. But what you doing when it's time to support somebody, one of your brothers? No, man, we gotta stop that. We gotta get off that. We just do, man. We do. We gotta support each other. We gotta support you because you have a great platform right here. And I'm gonna do my part. I'm talking to brothers about you right now. You know, trying to get them to support you, see what's going on over here. You know, you got a whole place where you can throw functions and all that stuff. It's a good platform. Yeah. It's one that we don't have right now.
And that's something else. I have to say that when the gentleman Harry, who we in the intelligence office here located in Tyson's Corner, he sat down and he asked me, and then it was just funny how he sets the tone for me to become conscious of my surroundings and what I'm doing. And he was asking me these questions, and he said, "How are you surviving?" Literally, he said this today, not even 45, about an hour ago, and I was like, "Yo, you know." But you know what he did? He left out. He said, "One thing I admire about you," he said, "you're passionate." He said, "I can see your passion about it." You know why? Because when I look in the mirror and I see myself, I see you. I see you. When I look at, you know, when just like what happened the last time y'all was here, you know, sometimes my wife say sometimes I talk too much. Okay, not in a point where she just want me to some things keep private. Y'all invited us to come to y'all salon, and the way that y'all treated us, y'all made us feel so welcome. Now, let me tell you the reason why I want to say this. Y'all made a statement. You said y'all place is not for everybody, but it is for us. That's what I don't know if y'all can get that.
We understand. Yeah, we understand the full.
You know, and I immediately came and I put the logo on the flyer, and all these other logos up here. I do that. I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. The gentleman was asking me, "So what's your other plans?" I got other plans. I just don't have the funds to do it yet, and I struggle to do this. But I'm not, you know. And then somebody had told me, said, "Stop being afraid to ask for help." You know something? that what I do is I know that this process. I'm getting rid of that word believe. I know that this process is going to be a success, and I know that it's not going to be easy. And I put the work in, but I know that I have to do my part. I got to lead by example too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that not everybody up here has responded to me to say thank you for putting the logo on? But I do that regardless. I have to do that, and I'm going. I designed a paper that's going to get it so now coming up I'll be able to talk about each one of these logos. I'm gonna be able to talk about the locations, addresses, telephone numbers. I got the paper in my bag right now that I designed less than a week ago. That's going to be able to. I'll be able to talk about each one of these individuals to say, hey, this is what we do, and this is who they are, and why should we support them.
It looks like 25 different businesses up there.
Yeah, at least.
At least 25. My count is on. It was 25. And that's something merged. So I'm gonna challenge y'all 25 of them. See, because what I'm gonna do is from today, 4 weeks in a row, I'm gonna donate $100, and I challenge each one of these businesses to do the same for 1 month.
Y'all heard
I'm gonna
that?
start today, right now. I'm
Okay.
gonna do it in front of everybody too.
So, you know something? let me say this. In the challenge, my part is to every time that a donation is made, I move forward to make sure that I do a better job in promotion and sharing information. Because this is what this is about. It's people to people. I always say it's not just about you, it's not just about me, but it's all about us.
He's already done the promotion. He deserved to pay.
Yeah.
He ain't got to say it. I'll say it for him. And we
Well-
want to thank you for your donations in advance, because we know you guys are going to support.
Well, with that said, Eric's going to have the last word. We ran a little behind. It be like that sometimes. Much respect to everybody out there, and this is people to people. This is what we do. Here at the podcast here, we believe, and no, I got to change that word. We know our direction. We are moving. It's about us working as a team to make things happen, and I just want to say, something, it's through the process of our creator that we had the success. So what I'm going to do is you get the last word, and you can take us out.
I'm not, I'm long-winded sometimes, but I'm into challenging people right now because we want to continue to have this platform. This is a great brother over here, Rodney Grimes. It's an honor and pleasure for me to be here, And so what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to grab my $100, and for everybody who's up here, oh man, get that back up here real quick when we challenge these guys, man. We can't let them off the hook like that.
Okay.
Nah, get them back.
All right. Let me get it back up there.
Hey, get them back, man. We're going to get this started. We're going to get this party started right.
All right, I'm going to get them back up there.
Hey, please.
Let me make this happen. Okay, there we go. All right.
There we go. There we go. So politically correct is group economics, each one teach one, and we all support one another. We have to do it in order to survive in all facets. Whatever businesses we have, we must support each other. So with that being said, here's my first donation to my brother Rodney Grimes, and I challenge everybody else who even step the foot up in here. And it don't have to match what I got, but just give a donation once a week to brother for 1 month, and we're going to come back in a month, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to make sure Rodney has me back out here, and we're going to continue to challenge you guys so we can keep this man afloat. Listen, this brother's doing a great service to the community. He's doing a great service for us. He has a platform for us. He doesn't have to say it. I'll say it for him. I'm not afraid to say it for him, and I will. And it's just not about him. It's people to people. And so we have to support one another. We got to live by this. We must do it. It's detrimental to the future of us and the future of our children. And if you love your babies, then we most definitely got to support one another. Group economics is the word of the week.
As we were just saying, politically correct. I just want to say thank you. And I'm very humble. And I can tell you that the donations, I promise you, what you're going to see. The one thing that you're going to see, that every time we get moving forward, I've had people donate, right? And I get more equipment. I get better because we want to survive. This is not my platform. This is our platform. And that's the other thing that I got to tell you. This is for anybody out there. I don't care what story you got. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a purpose. This is not like the restaurant with a wall up or a cage. I'm telling you, we're at 1934 Old Gallows Road, Suite 304. You want to come and check out the studio? Come and see what we're doing. We got people coming in and sticking in their heads in the door and they saying, man, this is fantastic. This is the podcast of the DMV. It's brothers like Eric that's going to be on here. I bring them on here not to criticize or to beat nobody down. I can bring them on here to educate people. You know why I do that? Just like what he just did. This is about the third or fourth thing that he done said that got me changing as an individual. The crab in the pot thing we talked about. We're talking about supporting. We're talking about economics. And I'm really now, I can't even use the word believe anymore. Because I know there's a creator. I know I'm a survivor. And I know that I'm a winner. Ain't no quitting in my vocabulary. These, you know what I'm saying? And this is what we want to be putting out there. What we got coming up also, I'm putting a platform together because it's going to be other brothers like Eric. I'm going to be putting a round table together here out at this location, which is going to be real powerful because you said that. I have access to utilize this place. So I'm going to do it. And that's what y'all going to see. And as we move forward. So I accept the challenge as well. Every time that anybody make a donation toward the People to People podcast, what you're doing is you're pushing me. You're putting me in a position where I can stand and fight even harder. I know that this is ordained by God. I know that this was put together by God. This is not about me trying to sell you anything. I try to help everybody. You got a child out there that want to learn how to work the boards and get into production, guess what? They can come here. You got a child out there that's talking about doing a podcast and they serious about it, I'm telling you, they could come here. You got a clothing line that you want to talk about, if you really serious about it, come here. And it'll be up to you to put the work in and say, you know what, I'm going on the platforms. You know, a lot of y'all that's on different platforms, tell them, say, look, I want y'all to do the same thing. My challenge is to this. For every brother that comes on the podcast to bring some product, then what we can do is then we come together and say, well, everybody that's watching and everybody that's watching from that point on, we give them the proper information so that they can then start to show them that they support them. If you selling pies and your pies are good and you go to the neighborhood and you tell everybody, guess what? After a while, you're going to be overflowing with orders. But that's through the process of networking and support. I appreciate you, Eric. Much respect to you, bro. And this is not your last time because, like I tell you, I got something that's in the midst. Y'all going to stand by. Y'all going to see this. It's going to be brothers like you that I got in that. I'm going to put in this other room that's on the other side over here. We get ready to have it that it's going to be a powerful, powerful table. I've already started making some calls. I'm getting ready to start locking people in. I talked to already the owner and the manager who runs this location. They already gave me the okay. Literally today, we were talking about it. He was like, Rodney, you know we got you. It's some things that get ready to happen, and I want to see us come together and make a change. It's the People to People podcast here in DMV. This is the podcast for all of us. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Guess what? I'm not even going to use the music to go out. Eric is going to take us out. You got the last word, bro.
Oh man, I love it. Once again, man, just everybody understand, in order for us to come out of where we are, we must do it ourselves. You can never look for your oppressor to bring you from underneath your oppression. We have to collectively come together, and we must do it ourselves. We have to become creative, and we have to support that creativity from one another. And with that being said, once again, the word of the week, group economics. We must support each other. And we at 426 Hands in Motion 2, 426 Mount Vernon, Hume Avenue, Alexandria, Virginia, 22301. Thanks and peace.
Much respect.